Am I being weird buying some games off my work friend, colleague? I am not the oop. Oop is you, Marvel Hawkeye 483. Am I being weird buying some games off my work friend, colleague? Originally posted to our Girl Gamers. Accusations of drug abuse. Less than. Original post May 23, 2023. Just need some unbiased opinions tbh. I have a work colleague who is also a good friend of mine. Meaning we chat a lot outside work about games, memes, life, and he helped me through a messy breakup. I also want to point out there's no romance or flirting involved, as my friend is like 15 years older than me and has a family. If anything, our dynamic is more like siblings. Now I have recently got myself Switch old for Xmas and have been buying some Pokemon games from him, as his wife, children have finished them and they don't need extra copies. And it also makes sense to me as I am getting them cheaper than if I have waited for a sale or bought pre-owned from the store, while he also gets more money if he just sold it to the store. So win-win. My partner also doesn't see a problem here, since again we are getting the games for cheaper. I would also like to add that the games are in pristine condition and as good as new. However, some of my other friends who game have expressed that they feel weirded out by this and believe that we shouldn't be doing it and should be going through proper channels of trading the game in as pre-owned and getting $10 for it, so then the shop could sell it to me for $40. I really don't see it being weird, but maybe there's something I am missing out. Relevant comments. Shock and Audrey. Would they think it was weird if you found and bought these games at a flea market or a yard sale? You aren't doing anything different than that. Oop replied, that's what I was thinking. I don't see how different it is buying a game from a friend than buying a game at the market or marketplace. Oha Ijachi. Are you friends perpetually high, drunk, on drugs? What kind of logic even is that? LMFAO, I can't even. Oop replied. Rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, no for all three. I couldn't get the logic here and thought there could be some cultural unspoken rules. But apparently they are just being weird. Good R. Do your other friends work for GameStop or something similar? Oop replied. We don't really have GameStop here. But no. They work with us. Cold sweat smile. Update May 24, 2023. So me and my work friend I buy games from have decided to confront my other friend about why he finds it weird since he also works with us. In short, he thought I'm buying weed off my friend at work and we mask it as trading games. Long story why he thought it was the case. I got my Switch just before Xmas and had 2 weeks off work and wanted some games to play. Specifically Pokemon. My work friend mentioned that he has a few spare copies that he was planning to sell to CEX, UK version of GameStop, but he can sell them to me as it would make more sense and I will get them cheaper while he will get more money from them. So I bought a few. Specifically Let's Go Eevee, Sword and Shield, and I think some Mario ones. My Switch came with Violet and Scarlet and my partner's came with Pearl and Diamond. So we had those already. Unfortunately that day was also the day my dear mother decided to give me my Xmas presents. A gaming keyboard and a mouse. Roccat Slim and Corsair Harpoon. As she was planning to go on a trip, and she spilled some of her cream on them. That smells like hemp. As a result, not only my bag, but all my work equipment and Switch games I got off a friend ended up stinking of it too. And because I was buying a lot of games which my friend thought I have already played as it didn't click, I just got the Switch. Mixed with the strong hemp smell he thought we are dealing. And hence why proper channels comment. My other friend who also thought it is weird have explained that as Switch and consoles are not that popular in my home country, people mainly game on PC. where the entire market is digital and it is hard to find physical copies of newer games on PC, unless they have been pirated. They both apologized and found it hilarious at the end, and I'm already eyeing to get Tears of the Kingdom from my friend once he is done with it. Relevant comments. Jungle Tigress. This is so weird. I still think it's not your friend's business if you wanna buy weed from your buddy. Like, this is a completely different context and still wrong. Emo. Oop replied, weed is not exactly legal in the UK, and I have heard a fair share of horror stories about dodgy dealers. This is a repost sub IAM, not the oop. Just a weird misunderstanding. Not what I was expecting considering the usual, I just found out I've been banging my mom. And now my dad wants a throuple, type of situation I usually read about. Hope oop enjoys their games lol. This is hilarious to me because I used to sell weed in college and we always used video games as a code word in texts. Where I lived, an eighth was almost always $60, and so was a brand new game, and my stoner clients were almost all gamers anyway, so it just seemed to fit LMAO. The Switch is not that popular in the UK? Most people game on PC? Really? I don't know any PC gamers myself, but I do know an awful lot of console gamers. As a Brit, when I discovered op is in the UK, I became grossed out that op said bucks instead of a tenner or quid. I was almost certain it was going to turn out that one of the buddies owned a store and was pissed he didn't make money off of it. Points at first, relevant comments, section. Hey, that's me. That's it, that's my contribution to this thread. I still stand by what I said on the original post, you ha 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 ha. Well, if he's got the newest gen of Pokemon, then the ultimate answer is simple. Acquire Sprigatito. Name it weed. Endeavor to trade it among other Pokemon players at work so you have officially fulfilled the prophecy of dodginess. My parents' tenant once asked them if she could get a small dog. As, you know, a pet. But this was apparently a whoosh moment. And my parents instead informed her that they don't sell weed. Is it an established euphemism? Not that I'm aware of. But apparently everyone just assumes everything is pot. Oops, friends are really dumb. Well, this was interesting to read. Not gonna lie, got a few chuckles reading from this. I'm from the UK and I know a lot more Switch owners than PC gamers. I also know a lot of people that smoke weed in the UK, and it really isn't very uncommon despite being illegal. In fact, you will smell it on the high street of almost every major city and town I've been to. I'm thinking Oop needs to have a look at that cream his mom is using. Weed-scented moisturizing cream? In fact, can THC be absorbed through the skin with cream? In any case, I'm not a user myself, but learn to say, I don't give a care. Live and let live. You do you. Etc. etc. when it comes to other people's weed proclivities. What are the proper channels for dealing weed in England? This story still doesn't make any sense to me. A. I want to buy Pokemon games from work friend. B. You should do that the proper way. A. What are you talking about? It's literally used video games. B. Oh, I thought you were talking about something very different that is totally illegal here. Also, have these people ever smelled weed? Who mixes up hemp lotion for weed smell? WTF? Are her friends smoking pot themselves? What kind of thought process is that? My friend is buying weed at work under the guise of video games, and that's not good. I'll let her know I know what's really going on, and she should stop by telling her it's weird that she's buying games secondhand from a person instead of a business. That makes sense. She'll know exactly what I'm really talking about. Person facepalming. Woman facepalming. Hemp doesn't even smell like weed, but even if it did, so what? It may not be legal in the UK, but it is in many parts of the world and is statistically way less dangerous than alcohol. And buying from someone you know is smarter than a stranger, specifically because it helps weed out the dodgy dealers. Hey op, just FYI, the spoiler tag for what I presume was meant to be a trigger warning didn't work. I just did a coke deal in the parking garage of my office. It was on sale for a great deal at the shop around the corner from my coworker, and she offered to pick some up for me. I'm just confused how this guy thinks that the switch isn't popular in the UK. Why does her mom use cream that smells like stank marijuana? CEX, UK version of GameStop. Any Brits here? How do you pronounce that?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.